Hey everybody, how you doing? It is August 22nd, and I wanted to cover this article really quick before I go and check out all the new runs and the models of the storms that are coming into the Gulf, because we know another lockdown is coming. We just don't know when, and we don't know how severe this lockdown is going to be, okay? This is from the 17th, and it says, prepare now for possible second CV19 lockdown out of automotive news, okay? And it says, powerful economic voices, including the chairman of at least two Federal Reserve regions, have suggested this month that the U.S. should impose a strict nationwide lockdown to finally contain the swelling CV19 pandemic. Okay, just hearing that, and then you hear in the Federal Reserve, we know what's happening to them. They're printing money like crazy. You cannot do that. Inflation is going to skyrocket, which it already is. If you haven't seen, the prices are going up at your stores. The shelves are getting empty. There's a reason. All of this falls in line, okay? It all falls in line with massive control against you. You won't be able to feed your family. Your money is not going to be worth nothing, etc., okay? Now it says, although the prescription proffered was primarily economic in nature and not medicinal, it remains a bitter pill for those whose lives and businesses were so disrupted this spring in what looks to be a largely wasted effort. Okay, so if they know it was a largely wasted effort, then why would they even be contemplating doing it again? Unless they're talking about doing a much stricter lockdown, like it says, okay? You got to catch that part. That's what they're getting at. We're talking about a full lockdown this time, where you will not be able to leave your house, you will not be able to do anything. And I'm going to show you an article about that, about a governor saying that exact thing. It says, for automakers, suppliers, dealers, and others across the diverse industry, the strict 4 to 6 week lockdown suggested this month by Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari would no doubt inflict serious economic pain. Chicago Fed Chairman Charles Evans told CBS Face the Nation that such a lockdown would cause quite a lot of hardship for small businesses. It would require tremendous fiscal support. If the national U.S. government were willing to do that, I think we could knock down the virus spread. Can you believe this? This is crazy, right? Oh my. That the U.S. may be forced to reshutter its economy to quell the virus is first and foremost a blunt indictment for the inept federal, state, and local responses to the pandemic this spring, leading to a surge in cases this summer and now more than 1,000 American deaths per day. Nothing but fear. They're pushing fear, and they're telling us right there, if you got to read through the lines, and you can right there, lockdown. You're going to be locked down again. It wasn't done right the first time, and we have nothing else that's more important than stopping this virus. So we have to do it. And you see it in all this political stuff, all these election stuff going on. Every single day, that's what they're all running on. This virus, ending the virus and doing it the right way, and also ending climate change and doing that the right way. Two things that they have manufactured themselves. With the virus, we know that they did this perfect pandemic, and then weather warfare, the way that they are doing everything else, from the hurricanes to the wildfires to the flooding to the derechos and tornadoes, and it doesn't stop there, okay? Now look at this right here, okay? This one here, great Governor Brown, right, warns of mandatory restrictions without better compliance on CV19 guidelines. Oregon's governor says the current caseload rate is not good enough to reopen schools. If things don't improve, she warns that restrictions on travel and businesses will be necessary. Oregon Governor Kate Brown called on community leaders, business owners, and citizens Friday to step up their compliance with guidelines to defeat the spread of CV19, warning that if it doesn't happen, mandatory restrictions will be necessary despite their accompanying hardships for Oregon's economy and households. Do you see this? They do not care about you. Stop thinking this government cares about you at all. They don't care. Oh, it may accompany hardships for the economy in these households. Yeah, you're going to starve people. You're going to end up killing people. It already is happening, and you're ready to do it again. It shows purely how evil everything is going on. And listen to this. If we don't step up, to the next level, then I am going to have to take more restrictive action, she said. Brown said her primary goal is to get CV19 circulation low enough to reopen schools for certain students. She said the daily tally of new cases would be her measuring stick. That figure has stabilized at about 300, but it needs to drop to roughly 60. We need to see a much more rapid decline in case numbers, and we need to do it quickly. See it quickly. She said, the governor said the reopening of schools later this fall would depend on how well Oregon can rapidly reduce the spread of the CV and curb the number of cases of people whose infections are resulting in CV19. Our infection rate is still too high to get most of our kids safely back in classrooms. She says, it would take about 200 days at the current rate of declining spread before Brown would be ready to approve the return of students to schools. This is crazy, right? Look, we're not even close to being able to reopen schools, said state epidemiologist Dan Seidlinger, who joined Brown at the briefing. At current transmission rates, school reopenings are months away. This is what they're going to do. This next lockdown is going to be worse, so we have to prepare, okay? You have to see all these different stories in all these different areas. You know, that's Oregon there, okay? Then you come back here, and we come back here to Fresno, California, okay? And these are just the stories that are you're going to start seeing them not just in, certain states like this. I believe you're going to start seeing them in all the states, okay? And the order, I don't know what the order will be. Who knows how this is going to happen. But this is how they threaten you, right? Here we go from August 12th. It says, want to avoid a real CV19 lockdown in Fresno? Stop having large family gatherings. Okay, so hold on a second. But everybody can protest. You can have all your, your Democratic, conventions. You can have all your little rallies. You guys can do all these things, right? But we can't have a family gathering. It says, it is the question Fresno County public health officials don't want to contemplate. Will the CV19 pandemic prove so difficult to manage that the region has to really be locked down, such as by a curfew that keeps people in their homes on the penalty of citation or arrest? Curfews, citation or arrest. Are you hearing these words, right? Says, the trend in July was not good. The San Joaquin Valley over the past month has been a CB hotspot, so much so that Governor Gavin Newsom directed a strike team. Here you go, your words again, right? Your task forces, the force word, a strike team, right? I mean, these things are all the same. It's psychological warfare. Okay, he says he directed a strike team to Fresno to meet with the county public health leaders on how to get a better handle locally on the pandemic. It says, at the start of July, fewer than 100 people a day were being treated at area hospitals for CV19 infections. By the end of the month, that had risen to an average of 300 a day. Where are these numbers? Oh, who are giving them to them? Oh, that's right, the government, Johns Hopkins University. Nothing that we can ever verify because we know you're lying. They're going to use the flu numbers. Trust me, I am screaming this as loud as I can because that is how they're going to be able to issue this next lockdown and issue these quarantines and issue all of this stuff. That's how they're going to get away with it in the public's eye, to our completely, blind, masses that cannot see through this. They're going to be getting this, hearing all of this and how bad it is, and then they'll be begging for their own enslavement like they have been right now. They've been doing it since the beginning, begging for the National Guard to come in, begging for quarantines, begging for all these types of things. Okay, it says most recently the rolling 14-day average for hospitalized patients in the county has shrunk from 298 in the middle of last week to 294. There are basics each Fresno County resident needs to follow to reduce the spread of CV19. One of them is avoiding large family gatherings. It says the potential is high for the virus to continue to challenge county health officials. As of Wednesday, Fresno County had recorded 17,978 cases, the most in central San Joaquin Valley, and 191 deaths. And then it comes out and they say, oh, this is what you need to do. Listen to this. It said he does not have a threshold for returning earlier restrictions, nor is he prepared to call for a lockdown while there are those basic things residents can do to slow the spread of the highly infectious disease. Highly infectious, yet you're sending children back to school. This is ridiculous, people. Open your eyes. Look at it. Have any form of common sense, and you can tell 100% that they are lying through their teeth. Look at, wear face coverings, It says, stay 6 feet apart, wash your hands, avoid large gatherings. You want to know what you can add right here? You can add another little dot, another little bullet, and you know what you can add? Get the vax. This is what is happening. It's coming, and so is this lockdown. I'll end it with this last paragraph with what she says. It says, call for lockdown. If August repeats the upward trend of cases like July or even gets worse, that is going to put area hospitals under greater pressure. Ultimately, the strain in the hospitals is what will trigger a move back to greater restrictions. Some in Fresno took a calling to the situation in March and April a lockdown, when staying home was strongly encouraged if one was not an essential worker and retail businesses and restaurants were closed. But a true lockdown is where residents are ordered to stay home with the possibility of citation or arrest for violation. Something that may have escaped notice is that the formal shelter-in-place order still remains. See? So they're saying, we are about to up it. We are about to show you exactly what we're going to do. This is all about to happen. If Fresno County cannot do the basics well enough, locking down is likely the final option, despite the economic upheaval that would create. Yep, just like they said in the other article, just like the Federal Reserve people coming out and say they don't care. This is all a massive plan. The inflation is coming. The food shortages are coming. It's all coming. This fall, this winter, please prepare. Please spread this information everywhere. Please make a plan with your family and continue to pray against all of these powers that be that are coming after us every day with weather warfare and just everything else, with all these lies and just this pure evil that they're trying to push on you and I and all of our families. Please make a plan. Make sure everybody in your family knows it and be ready to act on it. I love you all. Stay safe. Stay strong. No fear. No panic. Just prepare. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.